Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie.
Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. For more information on how the CCIDA can assist your business, visit choosechq.com.
From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. The Hofbrauhaus in downtown Buffalo invites all our friends from Chautauqua County to experience craft beer, Bavarian food, and live entertainment. Check us out on our Facebook page and website for family-friendly events throughout the year. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying this fabulous weather for at least another 24 hours. I guess tomorrow we're going to get a little rain, but we need the rain. It's been pretty dry out there at times, but that's the way it goes. But it's been a nice summer so far. We were in Iceland during the big heat wave here, so we got spared of that. But when we got back, it's been pretty nice. High 70s, 80s, and lots of sunshine. All right, so good morning and good afternoon, and wherever you are in the world. I want to say a good morning to Natalia over in Kiev, Ukraine. We hope you're safe, and as always, just hang in there, and we're sending you hugs and love. Good afternoon to my listeners on WRFA 107.9, Low Power to the People, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Anthony Merchant, the boss man, was here last week, and we're trying to get Gavin Paternini in here too. His right hand, left arm, whatever it is. Gavin, you got to come on the show too. We got to have you all back here and talk about what you do for us, because Gavin puts my show on the air every single week. Also, I want to remind you that we are now also on the Children's Collaborative Solutions TV, and I believe Sundays. Is that what your understanding is? As far as you know. Anyways, we're there, and Pastor Maraldo, thank you for putting this on and getting out the word, because what we talk about here is good for everybody. We seldom talk about just something that affects just a tiny bit of the county. We talk about a lot of things that affects all sorts of folks. And with this show, it's no exception, because we're going to be talking about Alzheimer's. We're going to talk about the causes, the treatment. We're going to talk about a big event coming up in September, and we're going to answer questions that you may have. So, Jeff, get ready. Call us at 716-753-5225. Call and ask your questions. This is an opportunity. This is something, don't put it under a rock. Don't put it in a closet. Don't say we don't talk about it. Talk about it. If you have concerns as a family member with another family member, if you are experiencing some of the 10 symptoms or warning signs that we're going to be talking about shortly, call, or she'll give you information, my guest, Jeanette Carlin, about how you can get more information. This is one of those shows that saves lives, extends lives, and helps everybody if you are dealing with some type of Alzheimer's or dementia. We're going to keep it more broad, okay? So please tune in, and remember, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are everywhere, okay? So throughout the week, also remember, you can always email us, and if you have a question about today's show, I'll do a follow-up with Jeanette, that's not a problem. chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. You can email me or send us information about an event that's coming up. And as you always know, when I pull up these papers, these are free advertisements about what's going on in our community. Happy to do it because that's what our mission is, all about keeping you in touch with what's going on. All right. Let's see. Also, shout out to wherever you are in the world that's watching this. I know we're over in Europe and in parts of Asia. I don't know why people in Asia want to watch us, but they do. Down in Africa, maybe, James, you're checking in because Karen Cockrum has some friends down there. Maybe you're tuning in from time to time. All right, so let's get on with it. I cannot believe, Justin. Y'all never see Justin. He's like my little invisible angel here. I'm no angel. You're no angel. All right, well, you little devil, you. It's hard to believe it's the middle of August. How did that happen? Yikes. A little sigh over there. How's things in Jamestown? Pretty warm?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. All right. But it is middle of August, and there's just so much more of summer to enjoy here in Chautauqua County. If you're visiting and you're over in Chautauqua Institution, welcome, or welcome back, or is it your first time? Just a great place to live here in Chautauqua County and the area around us. And lots of things are going on. And they gave you some examples. Next Sunday is Fredonia Farm Days. There's going to be a big parade there and lots of vendors going on. You got your farmers markets, one right in Westfield, just down the road. Very, very cool farmers market, and it's really grown over the years. So, and I'll be talking about some other things coming up here in the near future. Let's see. 1 o'clock today, Justin. I know you're excited. The Buffalo Bills will be on TV, far as I know. When is I can't tell if that was a yell or a hooray out back. I could hear it come through the walls. Anyways, it's the crazy season, folks, so here we go again. It seems like we just got done with football, but whatever. All right, so we have some things coming up that I want to talk about, and I know Jeff is going to pop up the graphics for us. So let's start with 10,000 Maniacs. Steve Gustafson was here last week, and they're talking about their 45th anniversary as a group, and they have a busy weekend coming up, September 3 through 5. All right, and if you go back to last week's show, they talk about they're going to have some special showing or listening. I'm not sure how it works exactly. I don't know if there's a video, but they've cut a new set of songs that they're going to be releasing here soon one day. There's a concert, there's a dance event on various days and things like that. But go to maniacs.com, and I think you'll find the whole listing of various events. You might say, what's the big deal? The 10,000 Maniacs are part of our culture here in Chautauqua County. Steve put out a little note the other day that it all started in a particular bar in Jamestown called Mother's. Well, guess what? I played there just before they did, probably a couple years beforehand or right around that time. And I mentioned that it had a two-headed calf, as I remember, and someone else said, yep, that's right. Then it became Sneakers. So for me personally, the 10,000 Maniacs in my life, our bands have all kind of intertwined for a little while anyways before they got really, really big and internationally famous. This is a big deal, people. The 10,000 Maniacs have done a lot of work and donating their time and efforts to the community. And from what I understand, this is all, every dollar of this is supposed to go to, after expenses, I'm sure, to scholarships at the Chautauqua Regional Community Foundation. And you can go back last week's show and Steve tells you all about it. All right, let's keep going. We got another big event coming up, and a lot of people may remember him, Billy Gilman. He was a country singer at a very young age, and he had a big hit album called One Voice, and then he kind of got quiet. Then I saw him on The Voice, where he was a runner-up on TV. Unbelievable voice, to say the least. Well, he's been doing some fundraising with Nancy Rose, who's been on the show here before, and all the monies are going to Shriners Hospital down in Erie. Pennsylvania. He's going to be at Meters in my hometown on September 12th. And some other bands are going to be there. Lawrence Anthony, Holtman and Swartz, and the Old Dog Bluegrass Group. And guess what? Billy and Nancy are going to be on my show that morning on September 12th. So keep that in mind, and also put that on your calendar. Get out. This guy's, nationally known, so real cool. Also, let's see what else I got here. Oh, today is the Great American Picnic. Do we have that graphic still? For WRFA. Anthony Merchant was talking about that. There it is. It's from 12 to 5. It's going to be a Southern Tier Brewing Company just down the road over Hunt Road. Hunt Road, right? Yeah, I think so. And there all kinds of bands going to play there. Anthony Merchant's going to be there. So check it out if you want something to do today from 12 to 5 at the Southern Tier Brewing. Lots of things going on. All right, what else I got here? Let's see, I did that with that one. Okay, this was just an announcement. All right, we're going to be talking about this in the very near future. The Grape Discovery Center is going to have an Oktoberfest here in Chautauqua County. Grape Discovery Center is over in Westfield, and they are teaming up with the Hop Rock. Holy mackerel, look at that! There's another one coming up, Grape and Wine Festival. Randy and Jeff and I are going to do some filming on September 18th and 19th. This has nothing to do with the Oktoberfest, but we'll jump on this for a minute. Thanks for bringing that up, Jeff. That's going to be at Moore Park in Westfield, and they're going to be, and the Grape Discovery Center is going to be involved with that as well. And we're going to bring in a special guest that morning on the 19th. All I can tell you, he's very presidential. I'll leave it there. Really presidential. And that's going to be lots of fun. They're going to do all sorts of things going on there for family events on Friday and Saturday, September 18th and 19th. Mark your calendars. I'll be involved. I'll be there. The team will be there. And then we're going to bring excerpts of that for you Saturday morning. All right, let me get back to the Oktoberfest real quick. We don't have a slide for that, I don't think. But that's going to be October 3rd, so that's mark your calendar. And from what I understand, the two, Hopra House and Grape Discovery Center have teamed up, and they're going to provide, as far as I know, the first official Oktoberfest on October 3rd at the Grape Discovery Center, one of the places that I am very proud to say that I helped open as a musician. I actually played there for their opening. So that's cool. And then finally, this is before I even get to my notes, Songwriters Circle over at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts. We are still trying to give away tickets for this Thursday, August 20th. Excuse me. Tim Wright has been doing a little hard work of bringing in talents from all over the place. And so the Songwriters Circle series is including Scott Reynolds, Holly Klug, and boy, I can't read that last one. I'm sorry. Can you read that for me, Jeff? Mayo? Anyways, Farrell, perhaps? And I apologize, I just can't read it off of the slide here. But anyways, August 20th, if you're interested, for free tickets, we're going to give 2 sets of tickets away, I believe. 2 and 2. Call us today. Last chance. Give us your name, phone number, and email address. I'll let Tim know who you are. And all you got to do is show up at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Give us a call at 716-753-5225 and free tickets. Otherwise, you still can go online and get tickets if you are not the lucky call-ins. So, still time to get that ready for you for this week. I've only heard great reports on the events that they have monthly. All right, get ready. I'm going to read fast. You listen quicker. Here I go. All right. Slide 15, Jeff. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts is honored to receive With Youth for Youth grant selected by young people through Western New York. This grant, youth-led grant-making process involved Infinity's program, and they were chosen because it reflects what youth reviewers were looking for. That is, meaningful youth voice, clear benefits for young people, strong community impact, and a responsible plan to use funds to expand opportunities for youth. There's some of those shiny faces from Infinity. If you recall last week, Anthony Merchant said he went to Infinity, and that's where he learned to play music and get involved with all kinds of things. This Youth Advisory Board for with Youth for Youth board just directed more than $2 million in with the grants for 40 out-of-school time youth sports programs across 9 counties. The 24-member advisory board of young people ages 13 to 17 designed the process, reviewed applications, and selected recipients. Real decisions, real dollars, led by young people. $2 million? Yikes. And these are for young kids to do this. That's pretty darn cool. All right, so Shane Hawkins says the following. Our mission has always been to create opportunities where young people can grow, learn, and lead through arts. This grant allows us to expand those opportunities while giving our own students an even stronger voice in shaping the experiences they want to see at Infinity. They're so excited to bring these new ideas to life together. As we mentioned before, they are looking for new students, and if you're interested, they have a free community open house and mini convention event this coming 2 weeks from now, I guess, Friday, August 28th from 4 to 7. Now, the important thing is, here's the phone number, 664-0991, 664-0991. And I don't mean to keep referring to Steve Gustafson, but we both commented last week that if we had Infinity when we were growing up, well, the Beatles might have been just a passing message. We would have been awesome. We did really good as musicians, and of course 10,000 Maniacs went on to international fame. Mine was just local fame. But just think about if all of us that were musicians back in the 60s and 70s, if we had the opportunity to go to Infinity, wowza, it would have been great. Oh well. All right, we're at slide 16. Let's get back to the American Picnic today. It's going to be, wait a minute, I thought it was today. Is it not today? Tomorrow. I'm sorry. What's wrong with me? Tomorrow, August 16th from 12 to 5 at the Southern Tier Brewery. Thank you, Jeanette, for that. All right, so here are the bands. This is tomorrow. Don't listen to me. I just got to read these things. Mr. Green, these are the bands. The Hollow, I just met one of the guys from Mr. Green last week. He was out in the parking lot. The Hollow Society, Early Attic, the Hazy Rays, Nights in Harmonia, Chelsea O of the band Stress Dolls, Campfire Junkie, and Harmony. Legal beverages are provided by their host, The Empty Pint. Tickets for the fundraiser are only $20 and will include one complimentary Southern Tier Brewery beer. Of course, you got to be 21 years up, but it says here, attendees under 21 get in free. Sorry, Justin, you got to pay. Doesn't pay to get old, does it? Hot dogs will also be sold, and there will be also a 50-50 raffle. Of course, this is to help WRFA, our good friends that do great work over in Jamestown and in all of Chautauqua County. All right, let's go on one more time onto the Grape Discovery, the Grape Discovery Center is part of it, and the Grape and Wine Festival coming up September 18th and 19th. We're going to talk about this every single week till then. So it starts Friday from 3 to 8. And then Saturday from 9 to 5. It's over at the Route 20 and 394, which is Main and Portage in Westfield, New York. Real quick, Friday night, DTO Live Music, I know them. Wine pairing workshop. Then on Saturday, Westfield Farmers and Artisans Market, trolley to get you there. Pie eating contest, cooking with grapes, wine class, grape pie baking class, wine class, grape pie baking contest. I emceed that last year. That was a lot of fun. Alternative grape desserts contest, children's grape tent, and on and on. In Moore Park, that was Friday night. Then on Saturday, food trucks and vendors, bounce house, kids activities, wine tasting, grape stomping. They're trying to get me to do that. I don't know, we'll see. Wine competition, live music, library activities, downtown scavenger hunt, purple cow booth, grape juice tastings. There's just a whole lot more stuff going on. Museum gift shops, blessing the grapes, hay rides, museums and gift shops. On and on and on and on and on. We'll talk more and more and more about that. But again, September 18th and 19th, big time event. Mark your calendars. Be there. We'll be there filming, and then I'll be there the next day as well. Let's keep on going. Movies at the Reg. Ready, Jeff? Here we go. Maddie's Secret and Toy Story 5, the show at the Reg Lenny Center for the Arts. Comedian John Early directs and stars in Maddie's Secret. August 19th, Maddie, a plucky dishwasher, leaps to viral superstardom at a trendy food content creation company. I have no idea what that means. While her life seems picturesque, complete with an adoring husband, ride-to-die best friend, and a cupboard full of woman-owned ethnically sourced chili crisp to boot. I can't read this morning. Mounting professional pressures threaten to reawaken a hidden secret from her troubled past. I don't know. It's called Maddie's Secret. You got to check it out. Toy Story never goes away. They're on to number 5. Friday, August 21, 7 p.m. And August 22 at 2 p.m. Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jesse, and the rest of the gang's jobs are challenged when they come face to face with LilyPad, a brand new tablet device. That technology that arrives with her own disruptive ideas about what is best for their kid, Bonnie. Will playtime ever be the same? Toy Story 5 is rated PG and it's 102 minutes long. All right, so you got other movies coming up called The Deadhead, Community and Documentary Summer Tour, The Minions and Monsters and so forth. We'll talk more about them. Tickets are usually about $8, so check it out. All right, let's see. Congratulations to the White Inn in Fredonia. They were recognized as a historic landmark and received the 2026 Buffalo Business First Brick by Brick Award in Adaptive Reuse category. So congratulations to them. And then we got one more here. Together We Can CHQ. Residents, businesses, and organizations, schools, and community leaders throughout Chautauqua County are going to participate in the Chautauqua County Overdose Awareness Week, and that's going to be coming up August 24 through 31. And basically, this countywide initiative promotes hope, healing, remembrance, recovery, education, community connection, encouraging meaningful conversations about substance abuse and mental health. All right, Overdose Awareness Day is August 31. And there's going to be things going on in Mayville with Keeping the Lights On, Jamestown City Hall, Dunkirk City Hall, the Dunkirk City Police, and there's all kinds of other events going on. So please check out your calendars. You're going to see them in the newspaper and so forth. But this is a serious matter, our drug overdose here in Chautauqua County and other places. So keep it here and try to support these events. We're going to take a little breather. We'll be right back. This is important stuff coming up.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I love that little PSA. We were just talking with some other folks the other day, and I was just saying that when we raise our kids, you tell them things, and then like 5 or 6 years later, they say, you were right. I used to go up to my dad all the time and say, I'm sorry. He goes, why? He goes, it doesn't matter. Because whatever he told me or whatever I was not listening to, he was right about. So anyways, I sometimes was a knucklehead. All right, Jeanette, Carlin is back. We're going to be talking about Alzheimer's disease and all that good stuff and how we can help. So good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? You're all perky this morning. All dressed up in your purple and gold here.
I am. I'm in my walk t-shirt from last year. I didn't get this year's yet, but the Walk to End Alzheimer's, that's going to be coming up at Point Gratiot on October 3rd.
All right, October 3rd. Not September 3rd.
That's okay.
I got my dates wrong today. I don't know what's going on. I guess I'm in the Back to the Future or something here. October 3rd. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that a bit later.
Yep.
All right. So when you talk to people for the first time, what do you tell them? What is Alzheimer's?
So Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. Dementia is that umbrella term, and it is a term that talks about the symptoms that interfere with our daily life. And we're going to talk about some of those symptoms today. I brought the 10 warning signs with me, and we're going to talk about, it's not a one thing, or it's not, you need to check all 10 boxes.
Okay, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
All right, so you said it's part of an umbrella. So there's other kinds of dementia. So
There are.
So we just talked about Alzheimer's, but what do you mean by dementia?
So in regards to dementia, you could have Alzheimer's, there's Lewy body dementia,
Oh yeah.
vascular dementia, frontotemporal dementia.
Holy cow.
And you could also have a mixed dementia, so a combination of some of those.
Okay, so define dementia now.
So defining dementia is, like I said, it's a set of symptoms that interferes with our daily life. It could be, memory loss that disrupts daily life. It could be challenges in planning. You could notice, some severe judgment changes. You could notice depth
Emotional,
perception.
behavioral. Yeah.
Yep, emotional,
Oh,
behavioral.
you said depth perception.
Depth perception's a
that's
big
interesting.
one. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get to some of that. So, when you're younger, you laugh about things. You say, "Oh, you got Alzheimer's," or you got dementia, or hardening the arteries," and we used to chuckle about it. It's not funny anymore whatsoever.
No.
And especially when we have seen like Robin Williams.
Yes.
What's the other guy's name from
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, thank you. And that's just two people, but people in our own lives. We have a family member that's dealing with dementia. We knew well, and this is not telling you secrets. The gentleman that used to have this show spot 13 years ago, his wife had dementia and Alzheimer's most likely. I think she was diagnosed, and people watching right now, I'm sure everybody, I think, knows somebody that's dealing with some form of dementia. Now, this is the part I want to ask you that's really important to start things out is there an age group?
So, typical age-related diagnosis happens after the age of 65.
Okay. Typical.
So, but there could be young onset of dementia or Alzheimer's, and that would happen before the age of 65.
Okay. But typically it's an older generation thing.
It is an age-related disease, but it is not a normal part of aging.
Right. And that's what people got to remember is when we start talking about some of the symptoms today, some of it's just typical.
It is.
Getting older and, forgetting where your keys are when they're in your pocket anyways, or your glasses are already on your head and you're still looking all over the house.
You're holding your phone and looking for your phone?
Yep.
You could be talking on it.
We've all done that. So anyways, so dementia, how does it start? I mean, is it chemical? Is it biological? What is it?
So changes in our brain can happen up to 20 years before you start showing outward signs or symptoms of the disease.
So starting when you're 45?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So I'm 45. So there could be changes happening in my brain. The more people that are diagnosed in your family, the higher risk you are for the disease. The more head trauma that you've had, you're more at risk for the disease. So I know back when I was here in February, we talked about ways to love your brain. So making sure you're wearing that helmet, making sure you're eating your leafy greens, and following that good heart healthy diet, because what's good for your heart is good for your brain. Mm-hmm. All those things that we talked about back in February. And if you don't remember, go watch.
That's
watch
right.
It.
So what you do is you go YouTube, Chautauqua Sunrise, Carlin, Carlin, hit search, and that show will pop up from February 2026.
Yep.
Right.
I was here on Valentine's Day. It was ways to love your brain. But, and putting things like that together. I was talking about ways to love your brain. It was Valentine's Day. They go together.
Right.
Things like that. We can all use memory aids and things like that to trigger things in ways to remember.
You know what makes me crazy? Is when I'm driving down the road and I see older folks riding their bike, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But guess what? No lights, no helmet. Please wear a helmet at least, and also please try to have lights on the back of your bike at least. It's great exercise and it's part of brain health.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Keeping everything moving, and but one good hit to the head can really trigger a lot of issues. So in the brain, is there something going on with neurons? Are they like, for instance, Lewy body? I understand the nerve endings get coated with some type of
alpha-synuclein.
Thank you.
That's the protein that is associated with Lewy body dementia. Okay. Is the alpha-synuclein protein. The amyloid plaque and tau proteins are associated with Alzheimer's disease, and what happens is what they do is they kind of eat away at the brain cells and the neural pathways.
Okay, so neural pathways, we're basically talking about here's a nerve ending, and they got to like talk to each other.
Yep.
But the plaque or chemicals begin to either coat those or do something to that where they don't connect, right?
Exactly.
So it's like having a telephone and you pick it up and you can only hear little bits and pieces and eventually there's nothing there.
Right. And your brain cells really struggle to kind of find out how can I talk to my other brain cells. And it's kind of like when you're headed down and you're on a path and then there's a detour. But there's only so many detours we can possibly take before we run out of ways to get to that other cell. Some days I get to a point where I can't think of a word, and I guess we all do that. But
But it's interesting you said you do a detour. So what I have to do is, and maybe you all do this here that's watching, you start, all right, now does it start with A, B, C, or where do I know this person? Is that from here, here, here?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you get there, but it takes a little bit of time to get there.
That's okay. And that's the thing, you're working your brain. Your brain is a muscle too. We always need to remember that. So sometimes you have to keep that muscle sharp. And by reading and doing cognitive activities, you're keeping that brain muscle sharper. You're building new neural pathways. So we're born with a certain amount of brain cells, but we can always form new neural pathways. So that's what we want to do, is strengthen it.
Okay. Before the show, I asked you a couple of questions about where technology is today, where is medications today, where is the medicines today, what is, any new developments. So since February, there may not be anything major, but what's going on out there? I see commercials on TV all the time. It says, get this test, and so is that any legit?
So we don't have cable in our house.
Mine's DirecTV. So.
Exactly. Mine's a lot of streaming services. So it's funny, as bill season comes up and we'll all start seeing commercials again. A lot of those commercials are drug commercials, right? So there is treatment that is available for people diagnosed in the very early stages of Alzheimer's disease specifically.
Okay.
Specific to, and you have to be tested, you have to have the protein that's associated with Alzheimer's disease, and you also have to be in the very early stages of the disease. It's a very rigorous process to be tested and make sure that you're appropriate for this drug, but there are infusion treatments that are available. I know they're currently available through Dent Neurology in Buffalo. I'm not sure what other neurologists may refer them to them, but you can contact them. And you want to make sure that you're appropriate for this treatment, and it is covered by Medicare.
All right. So a lot of people are not familiar with the term infusion. It sounds scary.
It does sound scary. So what an infusion treatment means it's being given by an IV.
That's it?
Yes, that's it. That's all it means.
Just like a bag of stuff, like you get saline when you're in the house.
Just like when you're dehydrated and you get hooked up to a banana bag.
Easy peasy. A what?
They call it a banana bag in the
I've never
hospital.
heard that before.
Yes. So just when you're dehydrated
Banana
and you're
bag.
getting that kind of stuff. So it would be you sit through that treatment, and they do monitor you. They have a lot of things put in place for this treatment, but you have to be in the very early stages of the disease. That's why we're really pushing for early intervention, for early treatment. The minute you sense that something is off, that you're getting tested for the signs and making sure that the biomarkers in your blood are being tested, you can go to the doctor, you can request tests.
All right, so there is a test that will show up and tell you if you have Alzheimer's.
Yes.
What about other dementias? Same thing or no? Well, I know Lewy body, no.
Yeah.
I know that's a sad situation. You only can tell after the fact. But for the others?
For the others, I know right now definitively Alzheimer's can be tested.
Okay.
The other ones may be, I'm sorry. The word escaped me. Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, there's certain symptoms.
Diagnosis.
There we go. I understand what you're saying.
Right?
You're not saying.
The diagnostic process for those diseases are more along the line of PET scans.
Okay. And PET scan is where they put your full body through a tube and look at your...
Yep, they're going to look at your brain. They're going to see what's lighting up in your brain. They're going to look for degeneration in certain parts of your brain. They might want to do one when you're first diagnosed, and then a couple years after diagnosis, and see what's changed.
Okay.
So everything is different based on your insurance, based on the provider. It really depends. You really have to be an active participant in your own health. You really have to advocate for yourself or your loved one that's dealing with it.
Okay, Jeff, get ready for this. I do this every once in a while, and I haven't done this in a while, but folks that are watching right now, you can call in live right now, right this minute, and the number is going to pop up. All right, 716-753-5225. If you have a question, please call and have a chat with us, all right? Don't be shy. You don't have to give us your name. Just give us a call, all right? And while we're talking about this, is there a phone number that they can call during the week? Because we're not here after 10 o'clock.
There is a phone number they can call 24/7.
All right.
It is 1-800-272-3900. And hey, maybe you don't like to talk on the phone. Maybe you want to do something anonymously. You can go online at alz.org and chat with us.
Okay.
There's a live chat feature on there as well, and you're going to talk to a human. It's not an AI robot. You are going to actually talk to a human being on the other side of that chat process. So,
All right. So 1-800-272-3900.
that is correct.
All right. We're going to remind people that number one more time before we sign
You
off
got
here.
it.
All right. So let's get into the 10 warning signs, and I think we have some slides, and we're going to pop them up as we go along. So people that are listening on the radio, we're going to do our best to make it interesting, but just have a listen, and of course, those who are watching, you can watch us over and over again on YouTube and on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So Jeanette, take it away. 10
So I know I said at the beginning, there are 10 warning signs that we review and we go over with folks. You don't have to check all the boxes. It's not all or none. It's investigating each part of what's going on. And some of these things definitely could be some typical age-related memory loss. So there's memory loss that disrupts daily life is our number one. That's probably one of the top things that people talk about, and people say, oh geez, I'm being really forgetful. And that's what starts worrying people. When they tell the same story over and over, or hey, they forgot an important date or an event. Asking the same questions over and over, relying on memory aids increasingly. So little notes or family members saying things over and over. But hey, sometimes we all forget appointments. Sometimes we forget what time we made that dentist appointment for, but they remember them later. That's typical.
And that's why I use my iPhone and put my calendar on there,
Yeah.
because we all forget things, and that's normal. So the number one is memory loss that disrupts daily life. I'm just going to do this
That's
for
okay.
the folks listening. Let's go on to
Absolutely.
number two.
So challenges in planning or problem solving. When you come up to something and you don't expect it to go, sometimes you expect it to go fluidly and sometimes it doesn't. So hard time kind of figuring things out. Maybe they changed what day your bill is due on. Maybe they, you're making a familiar recipe and you're out of a certain ingredient. Maybe you only have 2 eggs instead of 3. You forget what can make it work. How can you work around it? But there's typical age-related change. So, making that occasional error when managing your finances or your household bill. Like I said, maybe they changed the date on you that the bill is due. Maybe they, change the website that you have to go to pay the bill because they don't want you to mail them in anymore. A lot of
just trying.
places.
It says solving problems. Like, where do I begin to repair my car, or
Exactly.
or someone to fix the plumbing or something like this.
Yep.
All right. So number two, as it reads, it says challenges in planning or solving problems.
That's
and now this
correct.
is repetitively, day in, day out kind of thing, not just a one-timer. All right, let's keep on going.
So number 3, difficulty completing familiar tasks. So something that you've always done, and all of a sudden now you can't remember how to do it or how to start it. For my crocheters over there, you're used to making your magic circle with your crochet, or you have your favorite stitch, or hey, maybe you're a guy that's always changed your oil in your car, and all of a sudden you're having a lot of difficulty doing that. Or driving to a familiar location. You've always gone to the same grocery store over and over, and maybe, hey, the road was closed today and you had to take a detour. So what's typical age-related change is occasionally needing help to use like the settings on the microwave. Hey, the power went out, you got to reset that clock. I know I need to take a step back and be like, what was that button again? What do I need to push?
Or how about passwords?
Exactly.
And again, I have a list of those because I can't remember.
And you
them
go to
all.
reset it and they say you can't use the same one.
Start all over again. So number 3 is difficulty completing difficult tasks. All right, so it's probably complicated.
Yeah.
And we all get frustrated now and then. We want to punch our computers out, but
Absolutely.
But usually it's something simple.
Right.
But for somebody that's experienced some of this, I would think it's pretty daunting to try to get through something.
It is.
All right, number 4.
Confusion with time or place. And I know sometimes, during the winter time, hey, you take that afternoon nap, you wake up and you're like, is it 6 p.m. or 6 a.m.? What is it?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But having trouble, maybe, hey, you're at a really busy place, and you kind of get confused with which way you're going. It all looks the same to you. Getting confused about the day of the week. Hey, it's summertime. I know we're at the end of summer, but hey, when that summer break kicks off and your kids are home every single day, you're just like, what day is it? Is it Thursday? Is it Saturday? What day is it? But getting confused about, what time of day it is, understanding something that's not happening immediately, forgetting where you are or how you got there.
Oh, my favorite is driving down the road and you end up where you are and you go, how did I get here anyway?
Right. That passive driving. All of a sudden, you're used to driving that familiar route, and all of a sudden you're like, did I space out for a second? I got here real quick.
But it happens to all of us once in a
It
while,
does.
not
It does.
repetitively on a regular basis. And
Right.
that's what we're talking here. All right, next one.
So number 5 would be trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships. So that's what I said.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's hard, getting harder to park your vehicle.
Wait a minute, did my wife call you? I'm a terrible parker.
Those dings and tangs on your vehicle, all of a sudden you're like, oh geez, what did I hit? What did I do? Difficulty with balance. We'll notice a lot of balance issues. People, with falls. Having trouble reading. You read something and you're like, gosh, what did I just read? And you have to go back and read it 2 or 3 times. Problems judging distance. You go to walk up those steps. I'm not talking about typical would be, hey, I'm going up those set of steps and those set of steps are wider than they typically are. Or vision changes related to cataracts, things like that.
Right.
My dad just had eye surgery and he had a cataract removed, and he also had a lens put in place because he's always had astigmatism.
Yeah.
So, those are age-related vision changes.
And causes for some of these that are not Alzheimer's.
Right.
But they could be a
Exactly.
warning sign. Okay.
So you want to get your eyes checked. You want to make sure that, you're understanding that visual-spatial relationship.
Okay.
Number 6, new problems with words in speaking or writing. So stopping in the middle of a conversation.
You obviously listened to me read today.
Repeating themselves, struggling with vocabulary, having trouble naming a familiar object or using the wrong name. So, somebody sees your watch and they're like, oh, that's a nice wrist clock you got there. And you're like, wrist clock? Or hey, I like your ear jewelry instead of your earrings, Something, they can't find the right word, so they make up their own word. But you all just witnessed me. I couldn't think of the word diagnosis a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it happens. But we like you said, you find your way back to it. You're easily able to kind of go, oh, wait, that was the word.
But in our daily lives, some of us, not including myself, we've got a lot of stuff going on.
You do.
And you move from one topic to another, and sometimes your brain's still stuck on what you were 10 minutes ago, and you can't figure out, that's the ketchup bottle.
Exactly.
Or give me the whatever. And so now you got to say, give me the bottle that's red, that has stuff that has tomatoes in there, and it's red. And you know what it is, you just can't think of the word ketchup bottle, for example.
We want to always think about what isn't it. And hopefully it isn't Alzheimer's or dementia. So am I stressed? Is there, a thyroid issue? Are my vitamins and minerals off in my body here? Is there some kind of an imbalance going on? So we want to always weed out what is it.
And so I will go and say this. That's why you should go and see your primary doctor every 6 months.
Yep.
At least once a year for your annual Medicare checkup, which is always free.
Yeah.
But, they'll say, come back in 6 months. You go, we're going to come back. Come back, because some of this stuff can manifest, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And they can catch things, and that's what you want to do. Take good care of yourself,
Yep. So number 7.
Number 7.
Misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace your steps.
Oh, boy.
So it's more than, hey, I came home, I had groceries in my arms, I put my keys down on the steps, and then I went and put the groceries away, and then I answered the phone, and then I wrote this down, and then I answered a kid, and I did this and this and this, and the next day I go, where did I put my keys? Oh, wait, when's the last time I drove my car? Oh, here they are. I threw them down on the steps because I was bringing in all of the groceries. So I was able to retrace my steps. Sometimes, people put things and they put them in a safe place and they're not able to retrace where they were. They're not able to go back and say, oh, hey, I had that important letter. I know I always put important things in this place, in this drawer, on this shelf. my husband likes to use the mantle in our kitchen over the fireplace and put things. I'm like, this is not a place to put things, so I will always move them, and I get accused of that. So that's not typical.
I share a funny little story. The other day I was riding around the mower, and I went to get my phone. Couldn't find my phone.
Oh.
So I thought, oh my God, it fell out of my pocket. I ran it over. So I said to Barb, keep calling my phone so I can hear the ringer. And she's calling me and calling. And all of a sudden, I could hear this little ring. I go, well, it's somewhere around here. Well, it was still on the tractor. It had fallen out of my pocket. It was right next to where I was sitting.
Right.
That's not Alzheimer's. That's just it fell out of my pocket.
Exactly.
But you freak out because all of a sudden your mind's going like, where did I put? How can you lose your phone while you're sitting on a tractor? You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's just simple solutions. And
I've looked for my phone while talking on it. So you know what? It's just you have so many things going on in our brain that you just got to slow down and say, okay, hold on. When's the last time I had it? Oh, it was when I was talking to the person I'm talking to now.
And I think you hit an important point, and this is for all ages. Is like you got to give yourself some time outs. You know, people laugh because you take a nap or whatever.
Yep.
You got to stop the crazy schedules that we're on.
Yeah.
And just deep breathing, do yoga. I always say,
Give yourself
I do
some grace.
Tai Chi. Give
Yep.
yourself some grace, because then you can free up some of this stuff, and your mind can be a little bit looser and so forth. So, all right. So number 7 was what now?
Misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace our steps.
Okay. So there we go.
So number 8 is decreased or poor judgment. So making those continual bad decisions, poor judgment when dealing with money. You know, maybe you've been told, hey, you can't drive anymore, and then you go all of a sudden and lease a brand new vehicle, and you're like, well, the dealership gave it to me. They went ahead and they did this. Paying less attention to grooming or keeping up with themselves. You know, somebody, you're just like, oh, they kind of let themselves go. You know, that's also a thing for judgment.
You know, let me jump in for a second. There's a program, and you know what it is, and I can't remember what it is because it's been a while since I was there, but it's called Friend of Dementia, I think, or Dementia Friend, or something like that. And I went online, and I watched the slides, and it talks about dealing with people on an everyday basis that are in the situation of dementia, and how to be kind to them, how to speak to them, and don't mock them and things like that. And at the end, you get a certificate. Mine's out in the other room.
You could become a dementia friend.
That's exactly what it is.
Dementia Friendly America. You can become a dementia friend. You can go on and learn more about all the typical age-related changes, and then also changes that would affect somebody that's living with the disease.
You know, and as people get really old, and when I mean really old, I mean in your upper 90s sometimes, and I'm not saying everybody's going to get this, but we have a tendency sometimes for them to keep repeating themselves, telling the same story. That's a little different because they just want the attention. On the other hand, you have others that are starting to tell you, well, look up there in that ceiling, there's a hole, can you fix it? And did I tell you about, you know, and then all of a sudden now you're starting to see something really that's unusual that's going on. But at that point, it's sort of like the horses are out of the barn, you know?
Yeah. And it does, your chances of developing Alzheimer's or dementia after the age of 65, every 5 years, it increases.
Oh, great.
Because, you know, it's an age-related disease, but it is not a normal part of aging. So, but our chances do increase.
Is there any numbers, and don't scare me now, that, let's say, people at a certain age, the percentage of Americans or across the world of people having dementia, don't scare me.
35%
Oh,
of people,
come on!
35% of people age 85 and over have
So if you have
developed
100
disease.
people that are 85, 35 of them are
Correct.
probably going to have some form of dementia.
That's correct.
But a lot of it's genetic,
Yep.
head injuries, poor diet, and on and on and on and on.
Yep. So let's you know, focus on those things about prevention, and at least putting it off. So you might be at risk for the disease, but hey, what can we do to put that diagnosis and kick it down the road farther?
All right, so some of the medications we talked about actually slow it up or give you more time, we talked about.
That's
right?
correct.
But
That's the
doesn't
infusion
cure it.
medication. The infusion medications do not cure it, but what it does is it kind of helps to clean some of that plaque off the
Okay.
brain.
Scrub it up.
So it's keeping that degeneration at bay.
All right.
So it's giving you more time to make plans with your family. Make sure that they know your wishes. Make sure that you can put everything in place that you need to put in place, and give yourself more time to enjoy your family and enjoy your life.
Now, you see a lot of commercials for Alzheimer's or dementia. I mean, and I'm not picking on any particular product, but I mean, it seems like everybody wants you to buy their drugs. I mean, you really need to talk to your doctors. Are there doctors that are specialists, neurologists, I'm assuming?
Yes, I would definitely go to a neurologist or a geriatrician to talk about this.
Do we have geriatricians in the area?
I believe we do. We do have lists at the office, but if you call that 1-800 number, they will give you the local geriatrician
1-800.
272-3900.
All right, that's 3 times. We'll do one more. Okay, so what are we on, number 9?
We are on number 9.
Number 9.
So withdrawing from work or social activities. So a lot of times, there's that person that doesn't love to go out, that doesn't love to be around other people. That's okay. That's typical of them. But hey, that person that used to be really outgoing, or they used to be in church every morning at 7 a.m. for sunrise service. And all of a sudden they're withdrawing from that. They're withdrawing from their social circle because maybe they can't keep up with all the conversation going on. Maybe that church service is moving too quickly for them, or they used to go to the 9 a.m. mass on Sunday, and now that mass is a little too loud for them. It's a little too rowdy. There's too many families, so they have to go to the 7 a.m. service instead because it's quieter and more laid back.
So to me, this is difficult for the person that's in the situation to self-diagnose.
Correct.
So people that are watching right now might say, holy cow, that could be me. But,
Or it could be your friend that always goes to lunch with you, and
but-
now they don't want to go to lunch
but the person
anymore.
that's in the situation might be in denial. So for those of us that are watching this person, what do you do?
You want to approach it gently.
Yeah.
You can't just approach a person and say, hey, I think you have dementia. No, you got to be gentle
Yeah, I
about
would
it.
not. That's not a good selling point. No,
It is not. You got to be gentle about it. You got to say, hey, have you noticed a few things? Or, hey, maybe I've noticed. Or, hey, maybe it could be that you make it up and say, hey, so-and-so went to the doctor the other day, and they're looking at, trying to figure out what's going on with their brain. Have you gotten yourself checked? I might be a little bit worried about myself too. And so make it so that it's approachable, that they can approach you, that you're good on a good trajectory with them, and they might say, hey, there's nothing wrong with me. And then you might want to reach out to their loved ones, or somebody else that could approach them better than you can.
Do you ever see just the opposite, where somebody goes from like really quiet and now they're voracious and noisy and doing crazy things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That could happen too. So that's number 10. Changes
10.
in mood and personality. We
How's that for a
rolled right
segue?
into it. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Justin.
So changes in mood or personality. So maybe that person was always very quiet and shy, and all of a sudden they're now outgoing. Maybe that outgoing person is all of a sudden very shy, very depressed, very confused. So changes in mood or personality can go one way or the other. And I always feel like I'm negating myself or saying, hey, I might be telling you this symptom, but then I'm like, oh, wait, but it's not this way in that person. Because this disease is very person specific. When we've seen one person with Alzheimer's or dementia, we've seen one person. So we really want to make sure that that individual is getting the help that they need. Help for me might look different than help for you.
All right, this is a disease, and therefore it starts out in different steps. Are there stages of Alzheimer's?
There is stages. There's the early, middle, and late stages of the disease, or mild, moderate, and severe. With I said a lot of the treatments, we're hoping to catch people in that very, very early stage of the disease, or the very mild stage of the disease, to make sure that they can get the help that they need. And even if we're diagnosing at that stage and they're not good for treatment, if they're not acceptable for treatment at that time, at least we can start the planning process. Can we talk about what they want their care to look like? What do we want to talk about with the family? How can we be a best support to that person?
And how do you support the family?
Well,
as far as your organization goes?
Our organization supports the family through support groups, education programs. We have the 24/7 helpline that you can call anytime, day or night, and talk about what you're seeing. We can help talk about different behaviors, talk about effective communication techniques. People are living in the early stages of the disease. If you're in the Buffalo area, a lot of times we do have things, classes for people living with Alzheimer's disease and their care partner that they can attend together. We can connect them with supports and services that best fit what their needs are.
All right, we have a phone caller, and then we want to get to your event coming up. So,
Okay.
Good morning, caller.
Oh, good morning. This is Linda Spalding. I don't want to. I'm losing my voice. I don't want to hold you up.
Okay.
But good morning, Janine, and good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Thank you for the wonderful work. It's very important to talk about this. It's a very heartbreaking illness.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I know with your work with the Office for Aging Services, you probably have run into a few folks, right?
Yes, and I have friends, and I have relatives.
Oh, okay.
Very heartbreaking.
All right. All right.
And but so much is being done.
That's
So
right.
much is
Prevent
being
it
done.
come a long way.
and to stop the progression of it.
Yeah, slow it down if anything. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Okay, have a great weekend.
You
and
too.
week.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Lynn.
Bye.
Okay, October 3rd, Point Gratiot, Dunkirk. What's going on?
So we are having our annual Walk to End Alzheimer's this year. We host 6 events in the 8 counties that we cover.
Okay,
and one
hold
of them,
on. Jeff, you can pop up pictures that, there we go. And we're just going to keep talking. So,
Yep.
8 counties, you said?
We have 8 counties that
Like-
we serve in Western New York. It's Niagara, Orleans, Genesee, Wyoming, Allegheny, Cattaraugus, Chautauqua, and Erie counties.
That's a big area.
It is a big coverage area. So we do 6 different walks to make sure that we can engage each of the communities. And the Chautauqua County Walk is Saturday, October 3rd at Point Gratiot there in Dunkirk. All the photos that I brought with me today are from last year's Walk to End Alzheimer's, so you might recognize somebody that you know. We encourage the community to come out and be a part of the festivities. It's a family-friendly event. It's a pet-friendly event. If you want to bring your dog that's well-behaved on a leash, you may. Well-behaved being that operative term. We love seeing them, and we love having to make them part of the event. I brought our walk flowers with us today.
Yeah, tell us about them.
I'm going to talk about these. So each walk flower stands for a different, why you're at the walk. So our orange flower is for you're supporting the cause. Our yellow flower is that you're caring for somebody that's living with the disease. Our blue flower is that you have been diagnosed and you're living with the disease.
Oh, boy.
And then our purple flower is for people that are walking and they're remembering somebody that has passed from the disease.
Wow. And so these flowers, you buy them, or how's that work?
You don't buy them. They are available
Oh,
at the
just
walk.
stick them
and
in the ground.
We do. We stick them in the ground. People are welcome to take them with them afterwards. You can write affirmations on them. You can write the person's name on them. And I am missing one flower that I didn't bring with me today is our white flower. And our white flower is for the first survivor.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping to have that. We always make sure it's a very young person that holds that white flower at our walk. We will usually have somebody representative of each group at the walk holding their flower. And the white flower is usually held by a young one in hopes that before they get to this point in their life that cure is there.
Wow.
And that's why we're walking. Everything that's raised through the Walk to End Alzheimer's goes towards research. Right. Nothing that you fundraise for that walk is going towards my paycheck. It's going towards research to make sure that we want to put ourselves out of a job. We want to eradicate this disease.
Okay, we have about half a minute left. So is there a cost involved with the walk?
There is no cost. It is free to walk.
So how do you get money?
We get money by people fundraising for the walk. If you'd like to fundraise, you can.
All right, so you get sponsors and things like this.
We do.
So how do they get a hold of you to do this?
Go to alz.org/WNY and you'll see the walk banner on there.
Okay.
And you can join the walk.
Can they call that number by any chance?
Absolutely.
What's that number, fourth time?
1-800-272-3900.
All right. Woo! Jeanette, we did it.
We got it all in there.
Thank you so much. Got to come back.
I will.
All right. So, folks, this is a serious topic, but there's hope.
There
right?
is.
And we're going to continue to follow the Alzheimer's story here as far as treatments and things like that. So please don't put your head in the sand. Don't deny it. Give these folks a call. Get checked out if any of these things really resonate with you or you know somebody that does. And these people are friendly. We've worked with them right along over the years. So think about it. And congratulations and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right, folks, you know we do this every Saturday morning from 9 to 10. You can watch the show again and again on Spectrum 1301, on Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere. So have a good weekend and get out there and enjoy all the things here in Chautauqua County. See you next time. Bye-bye.
And I will email so that we can keep promoting the walk up until the walk.
Send me posters.